Hello and welcome to the Old Garage number 56. I'm Wild Bill, and yes, we have some questions and we've got a shout out. And the silliness, well, we're in a different location today, so you're going to see what the silliness is all about. So let's get on with the questions. Now, the first question we had came from the top 10 British people episode, and it came from Chucksaday, and he asked this question: did the Lanchester machine gun get that name for being rugged and simple, but not cheap though? Well, the Lanchester machine gun, there is a relationship between Frederick Lanchester and that machine gun. Frederick Lanchester's brother, George, actually was the one who designed that gun. And the Lanchesters as a family, they were really eclectic, pretty out there even for Victorian and Edwardian times. And but yes, George, the brother of Frederick, did design that gun, and like his brother, he is also an uncle-in-law of Frankenstein's monster, because his niece, Elsa Lanchester, played the Bride of Frankenstein in Universal Pictures' Bride of Frankenstein in 1935. So yes, there is a connection, and that is the connection between the Lanchester car and the Lanchester machine gun. Not the same company, but the two brothers designed it. Okay, and the next question that I have came from the quiz and comment section, and this comes from 33LL77E. Whatever, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. But the question he asks is, what's the oldest car that can be driven in modern traffic? Good question, but you have to also go, well, what is modern traffic? Because, for example, if you go into a downtown area of a major city during business hours, you're going to be stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, and you're maybe 25 miles an hour at the most. And quite frankly, the early electric cars from the late 1890s and early 1900s were designed for that. Whether it's a Babcock, a Baker, an Armstrong, a Columbia, they can do that kind of traffic, and that's why they were often used as taxis in downtown areas. And you could still drive a car of that vintage, electric car of that vintage, even today in a downtown situation. You also have, more rural and suburban traffic where you're not going, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, but you still have a bit of stop and go. You're cruising maybe 40, 45 miles an hour. And you could easily, like the 1901 Mercedes Model 35, it could certainly do that in 1901. There are a number of cars around that same time, like your Grafenstedt, your also, you had cars like your Daimlers, particularly the British Daimlers of that time, your Panhard and Levisors, etc. There were cars of that old that you could drive in that type of traffic, as well as your Model Ts. Those things, they're capable of 40, 45 miles an hour. If you got a Ruxtall on them, you can go up and down the hills at decent speeds. So you can drive a Model T, in that type of traffic. Where it's going to get difficult is interstates, highway traffic, because now you're going to have to be able to cruise for a long distance at about 70-ish miles an hour. And also, if you're on one of those highways, sometimes they get blocked up. Try getting through the 405 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Good luck. You're going to be parked like you're in a downtown. And so you have to have a car that's able to do that, be able to handle both situations. Now, of course, you did have cars in the first decade of the 20th century that could go for some distance and at those speeds. You look at the lap times from like the 1905 Gordon Bennett. You look at the lap times from the early races at the Brooklands. You will see cars that are able to go that fast and stay that fast, 60, 70 mile an hour lap speeds. However, those cars have to go fast. You can't you cannot drive them in a traffic jam situation. They will just simply overheat and melt. And you're really not going to get any cars that could handle all aspects of modern driving until you get into the late 1920s. You look at your Doble Model E's, your Rolls-Royce Phaetons, your Duesenberg Model J. These cars, you could drive them pretty much as modern cars. So a little brake fade, keep your eyes open, but you can do it. Those cars can do it. So 1920s, is when you can buy a car, you could have a car that could handle modern traffic. Okay. So those were the questions I have. So now for the silliness. Well, I'd like to introduce you to this gentleman here. This is Chicken Little is the name of this particular car. This is provided by my company, Top Line Heating and Air. They're based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They opened an office in Canton. I work out of the Canton office. And you know what? If you want to know how good a company is with their customers and how well they handle their customers, well, how do they take care of their people? This is a family-owned company. They treat us like family. I mean, they provide the car, our technicians, they do the same thing. We're all in uniform. We have our own vans. They take good care of their own people. And they take good care of their customers. So I like that. Then they provide this. Now, this is a 2014 Kia Soul. It was manufactured actually in November of 2023. And I named it Chicken Little. That's all right. And I named the car Chicken Little because, well, it's afraid of everything. And it's not the only new car. Most new cars are afraid of everything. And so I'm going to give you my reasons why I think most new cars today are Chicken Little. Okay? Now, first of all, when I first got this thing and I plugged my phone in it just to charge it up, next thing I knew, my phone and this car were having a conversation without me. I don't know what they were talking about. I don't know what, okay, but they were talking about something. I don't know. And ever since then, my phone and my car have just been weird. Okay? For example, it's broad daylight. I get an alarm. Your headlights are off. Duh, my headlights are off. It's broad daylight. Of course they're off. I don't need an alarm to tell me that. One tire is a bit low. Your pressure's low. Boop, 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 alarm, alarm. Okay. You don't have to freak out about it, car. Or how about this one? How about this one? Okay, I'm driving down the road. You've had an accident. The camera's obscured. I hit a bug. Okay, and so now you scraped the bug off. I did not get in an accident, car. I didn't. Okay, don't do this. Another thing, it'll go. There may be ice. Be careful. It's 50 degrees out. There's no ice. But I get an alarm for it. Okay, I get alarmed. This is the favorite one. You should take a break. Now, how does it figure that out? Okay, I mean, yeah, if I'm on a 2.5-hour drive and I'm going down the road and I'm keeping away from squirrels and stuff, and it says, "Oh, you just need to break. Go take a nap." Why does the car have to have an alarm for that? It's Chicken Little, and all these new cars are. So, end rant on new cars. Chicken Little. That's what they are. All right, so that's the silliness, but let's do a shout out here. This is a good one. Now, this is Ralph T.S. Mobiles, and he doesn't go as old as I do. He does some old cars, but he gets some serious detail about the cars and what he likes and what he dislikes, and gets in a lot of technical information. And he doesn't use a robo voice. He can be a little difficult to understand, but hey, I respect the fact that he's going to actually talk to you and not have some machine do it for you. I like that. So anyway, that's what we had for the old garage this time, and we will see you next time. Peace.